Hello my fellow viewers, I'm the viewer, and this is episode REDACTED of Megaman Trio. The show where I rank the designs of the Robot Masters from the three iterations they appear in: Classic Megaman, Megaman Battle Network, and Megaman Fully Charged. As usual, I'll go over the three designs of a single Robot Master, then I'll choose my favorite while everyone else chooses in the comments. And today we need to talk about Bombman. So we already looked over 5 of the original 6 Robot Masters, and it would be a huge disservice to not complete the entire gang. And because of naming shenanigans, creative decision making, and potential real world events, this might be the most convoluted episode yet. So before we start, let's address the Bombman in the room. Or in this case, the lack of Bombman in the room. Now even though there's no official fully charged Bombman, there is a spider web of events and details that might explain why. So instead of 3 designs, we're going to be looking at 5. The Bombman, the Blastman, and the Blastowomen. So a brief summary. So Megaman Battle Network was released in March of 2001. Ah, look at that, the game Bombman showed up in. And then March the following year, the Megaman NT Warrior anime was released. Now a very explosive event happened in between those 2 years that may or may not have influenced the name change of Bombman. He went from Bombman to Blasterman, but the Japanese version wasn't safe either. He went from Bombman to Bomberman. Now, that explosive event may or may not be very similar to an old Japanese explosive technique. If having children play with fireworks is an issue, the last thing companies want is to have children play with bombs. Now, Capcom can't use Bomberman for obvious reasons, but at the time, Blasterman was fair game because there was no counterpart. But then Battle Network 6 in 2005 introduced us to Blastman. So now we have 2 Navis with very similar names running around. That's not going to be confusing one bit. Then after what was almost a decade of hiatus, in October of 2018, we were finally introduced to Classic Blastman. What, something looks off? Don't worry, we'll get to that. Now besides a few cameos here and there, and appearances in cancelled video games, the original 6 Robot Masters pretty much fell off the face of the earth, until Megaman Fully Charged in August of 2018 brought them back. All but one! Cutman, Gutsman, Electman, Fireman, and Iceman came back to be in the limelight again. But Bombman was nowhere to be found. Instead, we got Blastowomen, an aircraft carrier bot who has a very similar color scheme to Bombman. So now we have 2 characters with similar names who look nothing alike, who only released months apart from one another. Not confusing at all. Did you catch all that? Alright, moving on to the honorable mentions. Ruby Spears Bombman. So he looks fine, but I'm still trying to figure out what's going on with his mouth. He looks like a duck for some reason. Powered up Bombman. Nothing much to say, but he gets the job done. Bombman from the Megamix manga. His aesthetic is more dynamic, and it looks pretty cool. Bombman from Megaman Online. There's no information besides trailers of this design, but it's by far one of my favorites. The early design of Battle Network Bombman. They were definitely experimenting with these two, which is the same for the early designs of Battle Network Blastman. Next is the Bombman costume. Enough said. No, I am not including Wind Blastman. Don't even get me started. Next are the early designs of Classic Blastman. So these 3 are pretty much the same. They just have minor differences in armor and color palette. No words can describe the 4th one. All I can say is that he looks like he's about to rob a train. Next is Blasto on PlayStation. Just leave me alone, man. Leave me alone, Blasto figures. And last and certainly least, Captain N Bombman. He's green and he looks like a Ninja Turtle, because why not? With all that out of the way, let's take a look at Classic Bombman. So right off the bat, Bombman is interesting to say the least. So he's orange and yellow with a black belly, which puts his color scheme very similar to the other Robot Masters he comes with. While Robot Masters in later games have a more colorful palette, since he comes from the first game, I'll let this one slide. But what I'm not gonna let slide is what's going on with his head. Look, since this was the first game, obviously Robot Master design wasn't concrete. But damn, what the hell was Dr. Light smoking when he built Bombman? And can I have some? So his face looks like a lizard, which is already weird enough. But why does he have a mohawk? Look, for the most part, Robot Masters are designed after what they do, whether it be fire, construction, electricity, Cutman. So if Bombman was created for demolition and land development, why does he look like a punk? I don't know, maybe it's some insight into Dr. Light's past or something. And apparently the idea of giving a robot a questionable hairstyle was so good, Dr. Wily used it for one of his future robots. So design shenanigans aside, Bombman looks fine. Next is Battle Network's Bombman, and already this is a step in the right direction. So starting with his head, it more resembles the helmet of a gladiator instead of just a regular punk. He also has spikes on his ears and a mouth guard, which is pretty cool. He's red and orange now with hints of yellow on him, which looks awesome. His upper body is built like a grenade, and he also has the grenade pattern on his arms and legs too, which is a nice detail. This just means that they need to be extra careful when they design Battle Network Grenade Man.
Still not deleted? You're more stubborn than I thought.
Now his shoulders look like red Pac-Man, but that is where he carries his bombs, so let slide. Now his symbol is an explosion, which does look familiar, but it still works here. I also like how Bombman isn't a pushover. He'll fight with style. That's right, he has the highest score in Mega Man Soccer, and he ain't screwing around, because underestimating him is a death sentence.
You're pathetic. You're no match for our iron body defense.
And that's why you don't mess with Bombman, because he will literally blow your mind.
I wish I could stick around to watch you get deleted, but victory awaits. So long, losers!
With that said, you can bet your ass that Battle Network Bombman is going to be in my list of favorites. Next is Battle Network's Blastman. Now, if I'm going to be honest, I have mixed thoughts on this one. Now, he has a cool shade of red on him, but he also has a weird shade of beige, which just looks weird. Now, he does have a bunch of cool thermal vents on him, but the way his upper body is shaped makes it look like he's incomplete, as if he was supposed to be something completely different. Heck, he kind of looks like a Mega Man Zero character, not gonna lie. Now, his symbol is a thermal vent, which looks okay, but I'm trying to figure out what's going on with his long head, like the reverse of Bombman or something. I don't really have too much to say besides that. He looks fine, but he could definitely look better. Next is Classic Blastman. As one of the most recent Robot Masters, he's already starting this one off strong. He's dark blue with red hands and feet, and his head is in the shape of an explosion, which is just awesome. He also has a bunch of green lights on him, which is also a nice detail. Blastman also has earmuffs on his helmet, so it can protect him from the sounds of explosions. Very ironic, but it works.
Explosion is art!
Besides that, I can say that Blastman is the real Blue Bomber. And with that said, now I can address the drastic change in design between these two. So besides a few exceptions, most NetNavis were designed after the respective Robot Master. So with that, you'd think they designed Classic Blastman after Battle Network Blastman, right? But nope, if anything, he actually resembles Axel more than anyone. Honestly, I'm just gonna assume that they went back to the drawing board and started from scratch. The last thing I want to do is to look too deep and find a time paradox. So with that said, Blastman looks great. Alright, finally we got Blastowomen. And we need to talk about this one. So as we discussed earlier, Blastowomen has Bombman's color scheme, and that's where the similarities end. Instead, she's got a giant jetpack, and oh boy, she is one hunk of a woman.
Oh my god, lady, your anatomy, what did they do to you? You look like a gender-bent pillar man from JoJo. It's everything I never knew I wanted.
Anyway, she doesn't look like Classic Blastman. Heck, she doesn't even look like Battle Network Blastman.
Cargo bot can dream, can she?
Now, she does have a headset on her helmet, just like Classic Blastman, but that's because she's built for aviation, and she doesn't even fight with an explosive of any kind. Instead, she has the ability to fly and is all about brute strength.
I don't get paid extra for stomping on your can.
No ice, no fire, no electricity, no blades, none of that. She's just gonna punch you really, really hard.
Touch me again and you'll be wearing that corn pone.
So with that said, my main concern is, why is she even called Blastowoman to begin with? Her power is based off of strength and has nothing to do with explosions. It's like calling Metal Man Scorchman and lumping him in with the rest of the Fire Robot Masters just for shits and giggles. Or that time they named the Mavericks in X5 after Guns N' Roses. Seriously, I am genuinely upset that I lack the talent to come up with this crap.
That thing valuable?
Not especially.
For what she is, she looks fine. I have nothing against her. I'm just left wondering why they named her that. I don't know. I'm just gonna assume that it was originally a placeholder name and they forgot to change it when they started recording. Carrier Woman, Cargo Woman, Jet Woman, anything would have been better.
Did you just pun me? I hate puns.
Otherwise, Blastowomen is fine. Alright, so that was Bombman and Blastman and Blastowomen by extension from Classic, Battle Network, and Fully Charged. And coming in last place is Blastowoman. Not that she's bad or anything, but as we looked over, she has absolutely nothing to do with any of the others. Coming in fourth place is Battle Network Blastman. Now he does have some cool elements on him, but it's not enough to bring him to the finish line. Third place is Classic Bombman. Even though he's got Mohawk shenanigans, he was the first one to get the bomb rolling and still deserves respect. Now this was a tough one. Second place goes to Classic Blastman. He's a new generation robot master, and he definitely delivers in the explosiveness. And I hope we see more of him in the future, whenever that is. And running away with the gold is Battle Network's Bombman. He's the explosive superstar, and who knew he was such a top G? Even though this video was a stretch, it had to be done. And this is my ranking on Bombman, Blastman, and Blastowoman. Which one's your favorite? Let me know down below. I'm the viewer, thank you for watching.